through this journey. And it's been a learning journey for me as well, as we've been cultivating this group. But anyway, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Ashley. And I'm glad to be a part of the High Alive tribe. Thank you. Um, I guess I'll kind of start from the beginning just a little bit. I'm a Generation Xer, 70s baby, mid 70s baby, and part of the generation that grew up under Just Say No and the commercial with the egg that hits the frying pan. This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Yeah, I think we all remember that.
Yes. And I took it seriously, very seriously.
Mm.
I'd never touched the plant, cannabis, that is, until between 2019, 2019 and 2020 is when I first came in contact with the plant. And that was after a really, really horrible 2018. I know for many people, 2020 was, like the worst year ever for them. But for me, that year was 2018 because I started the year in January surviving a house fire.
Wow.
My family here, we survived a house fire. And then in November, my mom passed away unexpectedly.
Mm.
Yeah, so it was just a very challenging year. Also, I had felt like that I needed therapy because I just felt so tired and I just didn't understand why I couldn't just, pick myself up and just feel happy, just going, being a caregiver at work and at home. It was just a lot. But, after my mom passed, that's when I decided that at the beginning of 2019, I would go to therapy, um, which helped quite a bit. I even took a prescription medication, which did help, but it also caused tinnitus.
Mm.
So, for people that don't know, that's ear ringing, like having that ringing sound in your ears. So, it helped, but I had that side effect.
Mhm.
I want to say maybe towards the end of 2019, I started hearing about cannabis edibles and CBD. And I actually, at that time, I actually was in contact with a nurse that had a MLM for a CBD, and I got into that. Of course, when you do MLMs, very few people end up winning or making the kind of money that is promised when you get into it.
Yeah.
So that I felt kind of discouraged at that time and put aside the thought of cannabis and cannabis nursing. Let me see.
But you touched on a lot. You
Oh,
touched
yeah,
on
oh,
a lot. Let's deconstruct some of that. What the beginning phase of healing journey looked like for you, right? Does that question make sense to you?
yes. So therapy was first.
Mhm.
Um, I got into a groove going to therapy.
Mhm.
How I got into cannabis is kind of funny though, just in general. And I would not recommend anybody doing what I did, but um, I was in this group and I trusted the group. And there was a person that made different edibles like cakes, cookies, lemonades, things of that nature. And so I bought I think it was a mango lemonade. And so I got it and I opened it and it smelled like alcohol, but I didn't smell any, I don't feel like I smelled any cannabis. So I started drinking and I was like, this isn't going to do anything. I'm like, nothing is going to happen. So I drank maybe half of it, which I should not have done that because it was probably like 16 ounces, maybe. So I drank half of it. And then all of a sudden, it started kicking in.
Yeah.
And I had my TV on, and like if you're looking at like a scene that's in nature or something,
Mhm.
like the birds chirping just sounded extra loud. I'm like, I was like, this is kind of cool though.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Actually, yeah, I get it. Just get it. Um, so you had mentioned this group was MLM setup, right? And
Yeah.
so there are a lot of people in this space who are promoting MLM type setups, and they're not necessarily calling it a MLM, right? And then when did you discover that it wasn't what you thought it was, or is that how it went for you?
So basically, the nurse who introduced me to it was like, hey, there's this opportunity where you can have your own micro dispensary,
Mm.
selling CBD products. And CBD, cannabis, that type of stuff, it's pretty much the wave of the future. You can make a lot of money in it. But what I realized is that, like, pretty much right away, I realized that, I wanted to focus on, getting the products to people, talk to people about it and health. But of course, it was like, now I need you to recruit some more people. I'm like, that's not what I want to do. I actually want to help people. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, just for everybody who may be listening, MLM is a multi-level marketing strategy for getting a specific type of product out. And so, I don't think, because sometimes we might, multi-level marketing, the reason why it becomes this crapshoot idea is because the focus is less on the product and it has more to do with the recruiting, and that's what you pointed out. And so I'm really happy that you felt comfortable with sharing that here today. So anyway, we talked a lot about your past and how you ended up here, and I'm just so thankful that we were able to connect the way that we did. But I know that in the tribe, you've had a lot of discussions about your vision and some of the things that you want to do in the future. And so I hope nobody is like going to be holding you accountable online or anything. But do you feel comfortable with sharing some of your ideas or your thoughts for yourself?
So, okay. Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay.
So I would like to open a cannabis consumption or cannabis smoke lounge in the Baltimore area. There's only one lounge in the state of Maryland at this time. I think it's important for people to have a place where they can medicate openly, or if you're doing it for recreational reasons, in a nice environment, a nice atmosphere. So that's what I would like to do. I am starting to prepare for the application process. And is
That's a big step.
yeah, yeah.
And so what motivated you to go down that path?
Really, the idea just kind of dropped into my head.
Mm.
One day when I was just relaxing, it just kind of dropped into my head. Check into like a cannabis lounge. And when I started doing research, that's when I realized there's only one in Maryland right now.
Mhm.
And I know the type of vibe that I would like to create. And I would like to have different events there, and even maybe have health education. Part of my background is in community health. So I'm all about preventative medicine, preventative health. So it's, and it's just a lot. I'm still feeling a little overwhelmed about it, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, no, that's okay. I think that's real. I think that a lot of us, in fact, most people at least that I come in contact with, they when they come to me, they usually come with a really big idea like that. And so the idea can be overwhelming, especially when it's new and it's fresh and you've never done anything like that before. Because a lot of times, and that's why in the group, we talk a lot about spirituality and attunement and alignment and all those things because, as above, so below, right? And so I'm excited to see how you move through this journey. Um, I will say that it's probably not going to be easy, but I will say that most likely if you move through it with grace, it will be very rewarding. So you have anything else you want to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to share how when I mentioned in our group
Mhm.
the plan, I also said I'm an introvert. Like that, as soon as I had that idea, I started thinking, I'm like, I'm an introvert. Like, why on earth would that idea, be good for me? And you said to not let being introverted or, just kind of laid back stop me.
Mhm.
It's a reason why. And, being in the high line tribe is going to help me get there. So
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, for real. Um, and I'm also an introvert, and I remember we talked about it when we went to the grow farm. You're like, "Are you sure you're an introvert? You sure you got?" I don't know, but you know, I think there are certain things. Preservation of energy is really important for me. So, anything else?
no, I think that's it for right now.
So, how are you feeling about sharing this stuff with the world? How are you feeling?
Pretty good. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
And was I right that this is the first time you're doing anything on screen for like a live audience?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Were you nervous?
A little bit. Oh, actually, I do. Just thought about something. So my journey started with therapy,
Hmm.
um, and then the whole cannabis thing was kind of gradual and just trying to figure out exactly what worked for me.
Yeah.
I started noticing the benefits of it, and then that's when I really started to do research. About how cannabis affects depression and I feel like it even, and this is probably going to sound strange. I feel like I'm already a kind person, but it's made me even kinder. Like
Ooh.
I just feel like, I mean, maybe I'm making that up or something. I don't know, but I feel even kinder having,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah. You know, I think perception is reality.
Mm,
And if you feel kinder than before, you're going to behave kinder than before, right?
mhm,
I think the introduction of cannabis into your life is something that serves you. And so I guess the overall takeaway as far as cannabis is concerned for me is that cannabis is not for everybody. Like that's one of the conversations that people like to have all the time. They're like, well, are you saying that cannabis, everybody should take cannabis? No, I didn't say that. Cannabis is medicine, but we don't give all medicine to all patients, do we? We make a clinical judgment about that. And right now, based on the landscape, we have to make independent decisions about whether or not we choose to consume. And right now, we are learning more and more about the plant. And the more that we learn, the more that we can apply. And so, a lot of the advocacy on my part, on my behalf, is being able to let people know that they have the right to choose, to empower them to be able to use their voice to say, no, this is my choice for me, and I'll deal with the consequences where I see fit, or I'll reap the benefits where they're due. And nobody else is going to be a part of that. I'm going to be accountable for me. So thank you so much. I really appreciate this conversation.
mhm. Thank you.
Of course. Is there anything that you want people to know about you? Like maybe do you want them to follow you on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that?
Instagram is probably the best place to reach me, especially when it comes to sharing more about my cannabis journey.
Sure. So what is your Instagram account?
It's naturally JENN.RN.
Can you spell that all the way out for people?
NATURALLY JENN.RN.
All right. Naturally Jen RN.
Yes,
Instagram, right?
yes, yes.
So we're gonna disconnect now. I really appreciate this conversation. Happy 420. Please celebrate. Jen,
Yes,
please learn that this is a celebration day. So
yes, yes, yes.
so next year she's gonna make sure she is free all day long so she can enjoy the day. And so if any of you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My website, cannabisnursingschool.com. Again, I'm on Instagram at Cannabis Nursing Solutions, and you can always reach out to me wherever you're seeing this. Leave a comment. I always check my DMs. I'm always available, it seems, at least. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.